Do you ever feel like you're always starting over with your fitness? Today's podcast, we're talking about something we see all the time at Strength Warehouse. Two very different paths people take with their health, strength, and fitness journeys. The growth cycle and the anti-growth cycle. Let's figure out which one you're in and how to make that shift that changes everything. My name's Nate Boley, and 20 years ago, strength training changed the course of my life. I built a gym here in Bend, Oregon from scratch that's helped over 1,500 people change their lives as well through strength training. If you want to change your life, head over to benstrengthwarehouse.com, hit the Start My Journey button, and let's chat. All right, guys, we'll see you there. What's up, guys? This is Coach Sensei Nate, your Go Heavy or Go Home podcast host. And man, is it been a minute. I had to dust off the microphone. It had started creating, it had like spider webs and dust stuff on my microphone, right? It seems like it's been half a year since I've been on this microphone. And I'm a little nervous, to be completely honest with you. But hey, we're here and I've got some great stuff to share with you today. I wanted to talk about something that's been really on my mind lately. And I heard somebody talk about this the other day about a different subject. And I was like, man, that just completely relates to the gym life. And that is basically two different cycles that people go through, and how you can define and figure out where you are and how you can get to the one that you want to be in, right? As the intro states, we have two different life cycles, growth cycle and anti-growth cycle, that we see day in and day out at Strength Warehouse. And we have helped thousands of people by now get from one to the other, from the anti-growth cycle to the growth cycle, right? So this really goes into, we've worked with thousands of people, helping them get stronger, feel better, move better, be confident, and help them stick with it, right? Strength training, fitness, health, all that stuff. It's a lifestyle. You have to make it a lifestyle. That's it. That's the end of the podcast. Okay, see you guys later. No, I'm kidding. Basically, why do some people stick with it forever and why do others not? Well, it comes down to really two different things. One, the growth life cycle and the anti-growth life cycle. And these are very, very different paths that people have taken. So let's break them down. All right. We'll start with the growth cycle. This is a path that we really want everybody to be on, right? Now, whether it's a member at our gym or not a member at our gym, we want people to be on the growth life cycle, right? So here's what it really looks like. So one, you've committed to a goal. Now, a lot of people come into my gym and we do what we call the no sweat intro. We don't just let you come in and try a free week or free class or this and that and kind of dilly-dally, kick the tires around. We want to make sure that we understand who you are, where you're coming from. Do you have any injuries? All the pertinent stuff that every coach and every coached class should know about you. And I'm sorry if you're going to a gym right now where they didn't do that to you. They're doing you a disservice. And I'm not saying that every gym out there is bad because they don't do that. What I'm saying is they have done you a disservice. And maybe they don't know any better. And that's fair, right? I didn't know about this either. We kind of stumbled upon this and we adopted it about 6 years ago now. And it's been an absolute game changer for all of our clients that come through our gym. But committed to a goal, right? You're not just trying to lose weight. What does losing weight mean, right? Everybody has an idea in their mind. I've had people come to me being like, I need to lose 200 pounds, 100 pounds, 50 pounds, 5 pounds, 25 pounds, everything in between. I need to gain 5, 10 pounds, 15, 20 pounds, whatever it is, right? I need to lose weight. You don't know why you're doing this, right? You just know that I need to lose pounds. But when you come into Strength Warehouse, we try to define those. We call it peeling the onion back. Okay, cool. You want to lose weight? Peel the onion back. Why? Peel the onion back. Why? Peel the onion back. Why? And we want to figure out the root reason why you want to do this. Maybe it's so you can play with your kids. I've had clients come into me and be like, I'm hurting. I don't move well. I get winded. My kids are running laps around me. And I just want to be able to be with them. And I want to do that. And that's a very awesome reason why, right? You want to show your kids, hey, I'm the leader. You should be looking after me, looking at what I'm doing, and I'm not doing what I should be doing. And that in turn is making me not be able to have fun and enjoy my time with my kids. As everyone knows that's had kids, your time with your kids is finite. They're never going to be 5 again. They're never going to be 15 again. And if you can't enjoy those times, why even do it, right? So you want to hike longer. You want to prevent injuries. We live in the Pacific Northwest. Everybody's out there riding their bikes, skiing, snowboarding, hiking, biking, just everything. We live in one of the most active, mostly endurance, but hey, it's all good. We want to prevent injuries so we can keep doing the things that we do in the Pacific Northwest as long as possible. And I hiked the South Sister last August, and I got to the top, and there was an 87-year-old lady at the very top, and I was like, what in the world is going on? There's parts of the world where you'd never, ever see that, and I see it in my backyard every single day. So we live in an area where people are very active. They want to stay injury-free so they can do that forever. And just finally, they want to feel confident again. They want to get up on the stage. I've got a lady that is part of our gym, and she's getting up and she's going to be talking to thousands of people worldwide on a stage. And she's like, I want to look good. I want to feel confident. I want to have muscle tone. I'm like, yes, let's do it. Those are the types of things that help people. We call it dangling the carrot in front of you. Now, I'm not a huge carrot fan, and I like steak, so I like to say dangle the steak out in front of you. It's all good. Whatever you like, dangle that thing out in front of you. I don't care what it is, right? If it's a soda, if it's a ice cream bar or ice cream cake, whatever it is, dangle that out in front of you so you sit there and you do the work because you know you're going to get there. All right, we're going to go on to the next. That was a long-winded thing because that's really the basis of it, right? Committing to the plan. Having a structured plan. We're not going to wing it. That's what you do when you go to Planet Fitness. That's what you do when you go to a 24-hour access gym. That's what you do when you're working out in your garage or just doing random stuff. You're winging it. You don't know what you're doing. You don't have a plan. At Strength Warehouse, all of our coaches are dedicated to building you the plan so you can live in paradise. That's what we want you to do. We want you to show up, and we're going to have a plan for you. We know how to get you to your goals. We've done it with thousands of people. And yes, obviously, nutrition has a huge role for this as well. If you're eating like a jerk, and you know what I'm talking about, if you're eating like a jerk, then all the workout plans in the world and coming in 17 days a week, 3 times a day is never going to get you there. You cannot outrun or outwork a bad diet. So I got to say that just because we do offer nutrition, and I would be doing you a disservice again if I did not talk about that. So we're going to move on to the next one, which is consistency over intensity, right? You don't need to come in and murder yourself every single workout. And this is where I think the HIIT, high intensity interval training people, have really they've dug themselves into a hole where they hated it at first because high intensity interval training is not fun, right? You're burning, you're breathing hard, you're sweating. All the internal hormones and stuff at first are doing really well. But then the science has absolutely showed tenfold that doing this multiple times a week has a negative return on investment over time. But these people who are doing these HIIT workouts, and we see it day in, day out, because there's a lot of HIIT workout gyms here in Bend. And if that's what you need to do to stay healthy or stay in shape, I'm not saying you shouldn't sit on the couch instead, go do that workout. But what I'm saying is the studies are out there. The science has been proven that high intensity workouts are good every now and again, maybe once a week. Doing it more frequently than that is going to have a negative effect on your body on the long term. But like I say, intensity, these people, they come to us and they go, oh, you're slowed down. You're doing these intentional movements. And blah, I need to have this feeling like I got murdered every single workout. We have proven this, and science has proven this, that you do not need to feel sore. You don't need to feel like you got ran over by a semi-truck, a train, and then a steamroller, right? And then drugged through the woods by your toes. You just need to go in and have a good workout. And so basically what that means is coming in 3 to 4 times a week, focused effort, and that beats random workouts every single day. The next one I'm going to go into is adaptation and progression. So in order to get stronger, build more muscle, and all that type of stuff, you have to do what we call progressive or linear progression, or progressive overload. One of those terminologies really kind of intertwine. You want to make sure that you're lifting either more weight or the same weight for more reps over the course of time. We usually typically look at this about 10, 12, 14 weeks, and then we change out movement. So you're gonna look, and strength training, the real strength training, is super boring. Crickets, right? Crickets. I'm super bored. Squat, bench, deadlift, overhead press, dumbbell curls, all the stuff, the same stuff every single week. Now, we keep it fresh by adding in new variations of that every week, every block. But you're going to come in and you're going to do the same lifts for 8, 10, 12 weeks. And the good thing about that is you're going to get really good at those movements and you're going to see yourself progress. If you did back squats once a month, maybe, do you feel like you would progress in those? Probably not. So that's where I'm going to go with that. The next one I'm going to go is confidence and competence. This is the next part of this life cycle, right? So once you've done all these other adaptation, progression, consistency over intensity, structured plan, committed to a goal, you're going to start feeling very confident in every single movement you're doing. And you're going to feel very competent as well in what you're doing. If you squatted 3 times every week for 12 weeks, guess what? You're going to have a lot of repetitions under your belt and you're going to feel very confident on what you're doing. And that's what you want, right? When we get off the toilet, that's a squat. When we bend down to go pick something up off the ground, that's a deadlift. When we pick up our luggage and put it overhead in the overhead bin, that's an overhead press. All those types of things, you want to do it over and over and over again, right? Obviously, you don't want to do what we call the same repetitions over and over and over again for several years, and then you get repetition injury. So there's ways to mitigate this type of stuff with other accessories and stuff like that. But the big main movements is really where you want to be. Cool. So the last thing you're going to want to do in that is create sustainable habits, right? You're not on a fitness journey. You're in a fitness lifestyle. And that's, again, people, I hear it all the time, and I see it all the time. I've owned a gym now for the better part of a decade, and I've been in the fitness industry for 25 years. People, they get these things, they're like, oh, I trained for 6 months during my off season, and now I'm not training anymore. I'm going to do my cycling. Well, that's still training, but it's not going to help you, right? You're going to see your strength training peter off about 2 months after you start your on season, or hey, I'm getting in shape for the summer, and then I'm going to take the whole summer off because I just go to barbecues and go to lake parties and I drink all summer long, and then I come back, or I'm on vacation all summer long. This is a big one we hear all the time. I'm going to go on vacation. My schedule's super busy. I'm going to cancel my membership, and I'll come back in September. 9 times out of 10, they come back, they're not where they were, they're frustrated, or they don't come back at all, which is super frustrating as well for them and us as well. So that's really the growth cycle, and it's super simple, right? But we're here to help you, and we're here to make sure that all of these are absolutely in line with your goals, and everybody has different goals, and so all of these can look similar, like slightly different, but you're going to have the base core stuff, the base 6 in the growth cycle. All right, now we're going to move on to the anti-growth cycle. This is where so many people get stuck and often don't realize they've been spinning their wheels for years. And this is super frustrating. I see it. I went to a box gym here in Bend. When I say box gym, I'm not talking about CrossFit. I'm talking about like a 24-hour access gym. Got all this the cardio equipment, the commercial style gym. I'll call it that. I was there for 10 years. Now, I was very motivated. I had a coach. I knew exactly what I was doing. And I was also in the fitness industry. So I filled all the boxes for the growth cycle. I saw so many people in this anti-growth cycle where they just spun their wheels. They came in and they just did the movements, and that's going to be better than sitting on the couch. Don't get me wrong. I'm not an advocate for sitting on the couch because you don't know what you're doing and you don't have a clear goal and all that type of stuff. Go in there and do it. If that's what you're going to do, if that's all you can afford, if that's what you want to do, absolutely go for it. But the number one thing I want to talk about is no clear why. You start working out because you should, right? There's no emotional reason behind it. The steak dangling in front of you, right? I'm going to get up in front of a bunch of people and talk. I want to look and feel extremely confident. I'm going to go do this XYZ event. I want to do well. I want to be able to play with my kids. I want to hike a mountain, whatever it is, right? That's your clear emotional why. And that is so powerful. You don't even realize it. If you go in and say, somebody asks you, what's your goal? And you're like, I want to lose 5 pounds. They're like, what? Okay, cool. That's probably not going to happen because the very first Thirsty Thursday or barbecue with, birthday party with all the cake and the candy that somebody invites you to, that goes right out the window. So like I said, when life gets busy, things happen, the very first thing to go is your fitness. And I'm not going to lie, don't sugarcoat it. You and I both know this is very true. Okay, next one. This is the anti-growth cycle, right? Random workouts. You follow fitness influencers, you do a 7-day challenge, you do a 6-week challenge, you bounce back and forth between programs because one doesn't feel right for your body right now, or you switch gyms all the time. You try this gym out and then you try this gym out, mostly because you're like, I don't want to commit. I've got this commitment problem. I don't want to commit to a gym. I don't want to commit to a program. Oh my gosh, you're never going to build momentum. You have to just stick with something. I don't care if it's Strength Warehouse or any other gym, right? Just go and stick to the program and stick with it for a long time. You're gonna see results, and that's why you're not progressing. Sorry, I said it. Number 3 is inconsistency. I see this all the time. People come in, I'm like, how many days a week are you envisioning in your mind? How many days a week you want to work out? Oh, 7 days a week, 100% 7 days a week. I'm like, well, first of all, we're not open 7 days a week, so you're not going to be able to come here 7 days a week. Second of all, you told me it's been 3 to 5 years since you've done anything. You're going to be the first one to fall off. Second of all, you're probably going to get injured. So let's back it up a little bit, start small. Let's get the ball rolling like a snowball. A small snowball turns into a big snowball, right, over time. So inconsistency in workouts, and then when life hits, work gets crazy, kids get sick, you skip a few sessions, and then you stop going altogether. And that is, to be completely honest, this number 3 is our biggest rival in the fitness industry. It's not the next gym down the road. It's not the influencer on Instagram. It is the inconsistency where you are a go in hard, all in person, but then you're also an all out person as well. As soon as the first roadblock gets in your way, I've got a trip to Europe in 10 days, so I'm going to cancel my membership. Then you never come back. You never get back on. It takes you years to get back on your fitness regimen. This happens month in, month out at every single gym in the world, guaranteed. Yeah, so I'm going to move on to the next one. I've already beat that horse to death, and then I kept beating it after it was dead. Frustration or injury. We see this as well. This one's not as common in our gym because we, as our coaches, are very, very knowledgeable on modifying and working around injuries. Not all gyms are like that, but we have done really well. We also work really well with a physical therapist that works inside of our gym. And if we can't figure it out, he takes over. And it's been so synergetic to have a physical therapist in our gym, and we can bounce ideas off of him. He can bounce ideas off of us, and we just work synergetically together with all of our clients. It's super awesome. But because your workouts lack structure, or they're not right for you, your body breaks down, right? You're working 7 days a week. You're working out 7 days a week hard. You're going to get injured. I'm sorry. Unless you're 21 years old, not. And even then, like, I would say not. But when I was 21 years old, I guess what? I was going 7 days a week, as every other 21-year-old out there does. As you get older and you do more things. Now, I'm not saying you should sit on your butt the rest of the times. I'm saying you should go out, have fun, and enjoy the body you've built and the strength you've built and all the fitness that you've built. Go out and do amazing things. Go climb a mountain, go hike, go climb rocks, go skydiving, go biking, go skiing, whatever you're going to do. Go implement what you've done in the gym. Go do it. But people's bodies break down, and it's discouraging. I get it. Guess what? I've got a spine injury right now, low back injury. My shoulder's been bugging me. I've had knee injuries. That doesn't stop me from working out. I just work out around it. This goes back into inconsistency, right? The frustration or injury, it literally is one of those things like you're all or nothing in. I'm in, all in, all in, all in. I hurt myself. Oh, guess what? Hurt myself. I hurt my wrist. I can't work out at all. Well, guess what? You still have 3 other limbs and a core. You can definitely work out. You just can't maybe work out that wrist or maybe an ankle, whatever. Who knows? I've seen so many people come into our gym that have gotten injured from outside sources, like mostly skiing, to be completely honest, because skiing's pretty dangerous. But they come in a leg brace, or they come in, and I've had a couple people get, shoulder problems, whatever. They come in, they're like, hey, I'm dedicated. Let's do body weight squats and planks or hollow holds or whatever it is. I'm dedicated. I'm going to work through this. And guess what? When you work out, your injuries are going to heal faster, because when you work out, your body produces the inflammation response, and it's going to send it out to the entire body. It's going to help you heal. Can I say that again? When you work out, your body creates an inflammation response, and it helps your body heal. So if you're injured, continue to work out. It's going to help you. Now, don't continue to upset the injury that you have. That's not going to work for you. Work around it. Okay, we've beaten that horse as well. So we're going to move on to self-doubt, right? You're going to go in, you're inconsistent, you've had injuries potentially, you do random workouts, you got no clear why. Somebody's asked you to come to their birthday party where they had your favorite ice cream cake and lasagna for dinner, and you had too much, and now you feel like a bloated POS. And then you go, I don't feel good the next day. You wake up, you're supposed to go to the gym at 6 a.m. You feel like poop. Maybe you drank too much, whatever. This just isn't for me. You start making excuses for yourself. Do you see how this is rolling? I've never been like those fit people. They make it look so easy. You feel like you're always starting over, and you're slowly that belief becomes who you are. And then I tried fitness, I tried Strength Warehouse, I tried this gym, I tried that gym. Fitness is just not for me. And that is not true. You're human. You have a body. Fitness is for every single person out there. Now, the modalities may not be for you. I get it. I'm not going to sit here and say Strength Warehouse is for every single person out there, because it's not. And we don't want to be that way. We want to be for the person who's dedicated, who wants to get stronger, who wants to feel better, who wants to lose that weight, and who wants to not do the flashy BS stuff, right? We're not flashy. We do the same stuff over and over again with different variations. And that's what works for the people that comes to see us. So the very last portion of this anti-growth cycle is giving up. So now you've given up and you stop coming, and it's been a couple months. And then you're like, I kind of want to go, but no, I don't know. It's going to be weird. People are going to see me. They're going to ask me where I've been. I have to tell them I've fallen off or whatever. So you cancel your gym membership. Or worse, You keep paying for your gym membership, but you've stopped going forever. I have talked to, in July, this last month, I talked to 19 people who have continued to pay a big franchise gym here in Bend. I won't name its name, but it's got purple and yellow all around it for a year plus and never went. Can you let that sink in for a minute? And then they go, oh, a coaching gym? Yeah, I just don't know. I think that's a little bit too much for me. I just don't know. I'm like, what? You just paid like $500 to a gym that you didn't go to? But our gym that's a little bit higher than that is like, that's going to give you the value, going to help you stay consistent, get you on that growth cycle. That's not worth it. Most of that is because they don't have confidence in themselves that they're actually going to follow through with it. So it's not a value perspective on our part. It's they just don't think that they're going to actually follow through, which is super bummer. But then you feel like you failed again, and this is where it gets kind of dark, right? You go down that, and then it's 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, maybe never. And then you have to get to another rock bottom where you finally feel the pain point is so hard and everything in life is so difficult that you are willing to push that stone up the hill again. And guess what? As we age and as we've let that seep into our lifestyles and our identity, it just gets harder, dude. Don't kid yourself. It gets harder every single year. And even when you stay consistent, I've been working out for 25 years, almost 25 years this year. I'm not going to lie to you. Every year I strength train. It doesn't get any easier. The weights don't get any lighter. 600 pounds is still 600 pounds. But I stay stronger, and I let aging have less of a control on my life. So here's the truth. I just want to break this down real quick before we're done today. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You just need to be put into the right environment with the right guidance and give up the control. Give up your mindsets. Give up the influencers. Give up the shiny thing next door and just stay consistent. At Strength Warehouse, we build you programs that are right for you, with you, not just for you. We help you find your why and help you find and follow a plan. And we help you get strong for life. So if this podcast just hits that chord for you, would you just reach out to us and just let's have a conversation? But this podcast, again, it's been a while since I've been on here, man. And I really appreciate all the following, and I'm sorry for falling off. Again, I've had life things going on, but I'm dedicated to continue on this podcast again and keep it going. So anyway, we will see you guys on the next podcast. Thanks for joining us on the Go Heavy or Go Home podcast today. We hope you got a lot of value and had a ton of fun. If you guys want to learn a little bit more about what we do, or just have a ton of resources at your fingertips, head over to benstrengthwarehouse.com and hit the Start My Journey button. All right, guys, until next time, go heavy or go home.